Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast with Kyra Howearth. Hi, I'm Kyra, business astrologer, moon manifesting mama, author, teacher, and mentor. I teach you how to harness the energy of the moon, stars, and cosmos so you can manifest your dreams and discover a deeper purpose to your life. Hey there, welcome back to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. It is Kyra Howearth here today, and in this episode I am going to share with you exactly how to use the Moon Manifesting Calendar. So if you don't already have a copy of the Moon Manifesting Calendar, this is a free download that I offer every single month, and I have done this for a number of years now. And if you don't already have it, click down there in the show notes below, get it now so you know exactly what I'm talking about, because this is a really life-changing tool, and I get so many messages from people every month from people who are loving the moon calendar, and it just really makes a positive difference to their life. So make sure you download that now if you don't already have it. Alrighty, so the Moon Manifesting Calendar, as I said, this is a free download that I create and I offer every month. I've had, I think, like over 4,000 people sign up and download the Moon Manifesting Calendar, and some of these people, like, they just keep downloading this calendar month after month. And so I know that it's really having a positive impact on people's life when, you know, they keep coming back and downloading it more. And I actually stopped making it a few months ago due to a number of reasons. I just needed the break for a month, and I had so many messages from people like, where's the calendar this month? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But it was actually really reaffirming because it made me realize just how much people are enjoying this calendar, and that they were missing it. So it did make me feel kind of good that people really use it and they love it. So the Moon Manifesting Calendar. Okay, what is it? Okay, so I make it in kind of like 3 different versions. So you can use it as the digital wallpaper on your phone. Now, as I'm recording on my phone right now, I can't actually show you. But one of the other ways I make it is as a desktop wallpaper. So I'm just going to move my camera a little bit so you can see my computer and all my messy cords. But anyway, I have it as my wallpaper on my computer as well. I'm going to shift the camera back now so that you can not see all my mess on my desk. And the other way I do it is as a printable PDF, which is like an A4, although you can print it as any size you like. I actually like to print it like as an A5, so it's like half the size of an A4 sheet, and that way it fits perfectly into my journals, and I just like cut it out and stick it into my journal so I can flip through to look at that. There's those 3 versions. You can have it as your digital wallpaper for your computer or your phone, or you can print it out. So what makes the moon calendar, the Moon Manifesting Calendar, so special is that it not only has the daily moon phases and the moon signs, but it also has prompts for how to work with those energies. And the prompts, I have discovered, is what everyone loves about this calendar. There are so many moon calendars out there that, you know, show you the daily moon sign or the moon phase, which is great. Like, that information can be really helpful. But the prompts, I feel like, my calendar is quite unique in the way that I have these daily prompts. And I've heard from people who use these prompts as like journal prompts, or they like write it down in their journal, or they take action on that prompt most days, or something like that. So it's really up to you how to use those prompts. So what I want to talk about in the Moon Manifesting Calendar is I want to go through each of these elements in a bit more detail as well, so that you can get a really good idea of how to use this calendar in your daily life to get the most out of it, because I love making this calendar, and it's really my greatest wish that more people can use it and to get the most out of it, because I truly believe it can be a powerful tool to use in your daily life. Okay, so the moon phases. Okay, so on the moon calendar, you'll see the daily moon phases. Now, I make the calendar in like 5 different time zones as well. There is a time zone for America, there's a time zone for like the UK and Europe, there's a time zone for the United Arab Emirates. Because I actually had a request from someone who lived there and she wanted my calendar, and I think there's now quite a few people who are very grateful that I have that option as well. And then I have the Australian calendar and the New Zealand calendar. So both the Australian and New Zealand calendar, because we're just hanging out down here in the southern hemisphere, our moon phases look a little bit different to the moon phases in the other calendars because they are all based in the northern hemisphere. So something to keep in mind if you're looking through the calendars and you're like, oh, this one looks different. That's what's going on. Because down here, from our perspective, the moon kind of looks backwards to how you guys see it up in the northern hemisphere. Like in Australia right now, like at the moment, it's the waning moon at the time of recording. But up in the northern hemisphere, it's still the waning moon. It's just that our waning moons are opposite. Like they look opposite. So whereas like down here in Australia, our waning moon can look like a backwards C, whereas up in America or northern hemisphere, it will look like a forward-facing C. Although my hands may be kind of flipped. I don't know if the camera will reverse it. But anyway, I think you get what I mean. So something to keep in mind there with the moon phases. So the moon phases are all about the energy of the moon, right? It's really important to understand the moon phases. Like the new moon is, you've probably heard, it's a really good time for setting intentions, setting goals, for new starts and that sort of thing. So for each new and full moon, I actually don't have a specific prompt on the calendar. I will just list the exact time and what's going on, like a new moon in Taurus, whatever time or whatever it might be, so that you will know that exact time. And I list these exact times because I'm a firm believer that the timing of things can be super important. So, for example, when working with a new moon, you want to be working with that energy of setting your intentions after that moon has become exactly new. Because if you're working before that time, the moon is technically in the waning moon phase, and that waning moon energy is all about letting go of things and banishing things. So if you're setting intentions for the things that you want to manifest, but you're setting it during that waning moon phase of what to let go, it's kind of setting a mixed message to the universe, and like it could be misinterpreted as like that's the stuff that you want to let go. So working with the timing, I feel is quite key, especially when setting new moon intentions, or when working with the full moon to release things, and like obviously working with the full moon to release things, you want to wait until after the full moon is exact. Otherwise, you're still working with that building energy of the waxing moon. So I hope that's making a bit of sense there about the times and how to work with the times of those moon phases. But basically with the moon phases, from new moon through to full moon, it's the waxing moon. And so this is when we will be taking action. During the first week from the new moon through to the first quarter moon, which are both very clearly marked on the moon calendar, this is a time mostly of like planning and preparation and researching. So a lot of the times you will find that the prompts there are related to that sort of thing. And sometimes like it depends on whether I'm just like repeating the prompts over and over again, or if I feel like I need to kind of change up the things. But sometimes I'll start like sneaking in like some action taking steps as we get closer to the first quarter moon, because the first quarter moon phase is all about taking action. So once the moon does go into the first quarter phase and then moves through the waxing gibbous phase, this is all about taking action and pushing through obstacles and just really, pushing yourself to actually bring those intentions and goals that you set on the new moon into your reality, for doing the work, for doing the things. So the first week of the moon cycle, that waxing crescent phase, plan, prepare, research. As the moon flips through the first quarter phase into the waxing gibbous phase, take action, push through, do the stuff. So then we come to the full moon. And as I said, like working with the full moon energy, full moons are a really good time for like gratitude, for feeling really grateful for everything that's manifested, for seeing the rewards, for actual like the manifestation. And something to note here is that you're not necessarily going to be manifesting the goals and intentions that you set at the new moon only 2 weeks ago. So for example, if there's a full moon in Scorpio, you will likely begin to see the things manifesting from the intentions that you set at the new moon in Scorpio, which was about 6 months previous. So we have like these moon cycles that kind of go in 6-month groups. So yeah, something to keep in mind. It doesn't always happen like really fast. Like you set those intentions on the new moon and then 2 weeks later, hey, they're manifesting on the full moon. It doesn't always work like that. So after the full moon, we're going into the waning moon. So that first week after the full moon is the waning gibbous phase. And this is a time of adjusting, reviewing, sharing, letting go. So often you'll find prompts on the moon calendar there about those sorts of themes, about giving to others, about letting go of things, of releasing, that sort of thing. The last quarter moon is when that energy shifts. And as we then move into the waning crescent phase, so the last week of the moon cycle before we come to the new moon again, this is a time of really slowing down and like more deeply letting go of things. And so you'll often find prompts that are related to releasing or relaxation, or like even just things like meditating and coming to stillness, because I feel like these are all really important things to be doing during that last week of the moon cycle when the moon is in the waning crescent phase. So then we have like the 12 zodiac signs that the moon will move through as well. And you will see the symbols for these on the moon manifesting calendar. Now, if you don't know what these symbols mean, there is a free guide that you can download on the same page once you have signed up to get the moon manifesting calendar. Once you've gone through that and there's the download page for the actual calendar, if you scroll down, you will find a page where you can download a reference guide that will tell you like exactly like, this symbol means this symbol means that. So that might be more easier than me like trying to verbally explain like this little squiggle means this. But basically the zodiac signs, there's the 12 zodiac signs and they each have like a different flavor of energy, right? So like a full moon in Aries is going to be really different to a full moon in Cancer and that sort of thing. And this is where like you can really kind of get into the nitty gritty of the energy of like the separate full moons, like why one full moon isn't the same as another full moon, and the same as like the moon through any different phase, like why today feels different than yesterday because the moon was in like Leo yesterday and now the moon's in Virgo. So so that really can help understand the different energies of the different days. And once you begin to learn more about those zodiac signs, you'll begin to understand that some days are going to be better for focusing on different things. So for example, like that Leo energy, that could be really good for working on creative projects. But then once the moon moves into Virgo, then that Virgo energy can be better for like doing spreadsheets or budgets or that sort of thing, or working on your health goals. So there's those different energies that will really come into play as the moon moves through the zodiac throughout the calendar. And that is, and so it's really those moon phases and the zodiac signs that I'm basing those prompts off. So when you see the prompts on the moon calendar, it is usually because I have combined the energy of that certain moon phase and zodiac sign to bring together that prompt in like a really kind of concise and actionable little sentence that you can put into action. So how to use the daily prompts. So the daily prompts, like as I've said, they're just like a really short sentence, and sometimes I really have to challenge myself to limit how much I'm putting because there's only so many words I can put in each box. And so sometimes it can just be like something really simple, like do something creative. Like that's like a Leo moon prompt, right? And sometimes the prompts are more like, let's have a look at these prompts I've got. Release your dependency is something I've got for like the waning gibbous in Libra. So how I work with these prompts, I generally write these down in my journal when I'm doing my morning journaling, like as part of like my to-do lists and stuff. I will check in like with the moon calendar because it will tell me, okay, this is the moon phase, this is the moon sign, this is the prompt, this is the sort of energy that we're working with today. And so you may like to do the same thing. You may like to write out those prompts in your journal or wherever you happen to write them down. You may like to actually add it to your to-do list. And I highly actually recommend that you do this for like, maybe just a month or maybe just 2 weeks or something, and see how it changes your life. See how it improves your life. Because when you work with this lunar energy, when you're working with those moon phases and those zodiac signs, you will find there's this beautiful flow in your life. And so I do highly recommend that you try that. Even if you're a bit skeptical, just try it. You've got nothing to lose. So yeah, how to use the prompts, journal it, take action on it. Sometimes I try to make them all quite actionable. I'm just having a quick skim through the prompts I've got on this calendar up on my computer screen, and they are all quite actionable. There's some that can be like a little bit abstract, but yeah, I'm sure that you will find there's like some way that you can apply it practically to your life. So do what you will with the prompts. But the interesting thing that I do want to say about the prompts is that I have had countless messages over the years from people who have had my calendar, like maybe they've had it as their wallpaper on their phone or they've printed it off or whatever. And they may not check it every day, and like they'll be going about their day, they'll do something and then they'll check it later that night and they'll be like, oh my God, I did that today. I remember there was like one message I got a while ago from a client, and she actually had like all this stuff in the boot of her car that she'd been meaning to go donate to a secondhand store. And so she finally went and did it. And then later that day, she checked in on the calendar, and the prompt, it was like a moon and Aquarius thing. And it was literally like saying something like donate things to other people or something like that, like donate or give to others. And she was just mind blown because she didn't even check in with the calendar, but she was so aligned with that energy anyway that she had just naturally done that thing on that day. So this is why I feel like the calendar can be so life-changing, because it can help you know in advance, like this energy is going to be really good for this activity on this certain day. So you might, plan in advance because you will know like that energy is going to be more suited for that sort of activity. So for example, if the moon is in Gemini, you may feel more social and want to go catch up with your friends and stuff. Whereas if the moon's in Cancer, you might want to just stay home. So you might just say, no, I'm not coming out today, guys. I'm staying at home. Or, whatever it might be. Or you might have like, a bootload of stuff that you want to go donate to a secondhand store. And so you might schedule that in for, okay, the moon's going to be in Aquarius this Saturday. I'm going to go down to the secondhand store and actually donate this stuff. So yeah, it can be so helpful for planning your life. And this is actually kind of like, why I then also created the Moon Manifesting Planner every year. I've been doing this since 2021, and I started the free Moon Manifesting calendars in I think it was 2019. I did. I started them in 2019. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of how many years it's been. It's been so long. It really has. So that's why I made the planner as well, so you can kind of look more in advance. The only downside to the planner at this stage is that I don't actually have the prompts in the planner, and that is actually a new feature that I'm considering adding to the 2024 Moon Manifesting Planner after having so much feedback from people who use my calendars. And I discovered that the thing that they actually love most is the prompts. It's not about the moon sign or the moon phase. It's about those prompts. So yeah, if that's something that you would really be interested in, if you think that's a great idea to add it to the planner for next year, send me through a message and let me know. Because yeah, I'm working on the planner for next year already, and your input will definitely help make it even better. So let me know your thoughts. Are the prompts something that you'd like to see in the planner? Let me know. So anyways, that's pretty much all I want to say about the Moon Manifesting Calendar for now. I think I've spoken heaps about the benefits of it and how to use it. And if you have any more questions about the Moon Manifesting Calendar, do let me know. Like if there's any way that I can make it better for you, if you have any issues with it, do let me know, because it's always constantly evolving based on feedback that I do get from people just like yourself. And that's like, why it has evolved to have like so many time zones, and why it has like the mobile wallpaper and desktop wallpaper. Like it started just as like a one-page PDF, and now it's like this massive thing. And I just love creating it every month. It brings me so much joy, and it's always so much fun. And it especially just warms my heart to see it being used, and hearing from people who have beautiful feedback from it. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you already do use it. I would love to know your feedback. And if you don't already, make sure you click through to the show notes below, where you can download that for free every single month. So I will see you in the next episode of the Moon Manifesting Podcast. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I will speak with you really soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. If you're wanting more moon magic, check out my book, Moon Manifesting. Download your free Moon Manifesting calendar, or connect with me on social media. You can do all of that at kyrahowearth.com.au. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll speak with you in the next episode.